Hi everyone, Rukshan here, and thanks for joining me for this video. Today I'm going to be looking at ABC and their attempt to smear myself and some other independent journalists as far right and not journalists. And I think the term they used for us was influencers, because we're helping spread whatever it is that they're claiming. Now, the reason I'm showing you this video is because I just want to dissect some of what they're saying and show you how ridiculous they sound, and also illustrate how the ABC itself is flawed when you look at it through the same microscope. So here we go. I'm going to play the clip.
But one group they will listen to are anti-lockdown influencers, or since they're helping spread a virus, let's call them influencers. They love these protests for a different reason. Greta, what is that reason?
Look, I think it's obvious. They're adrenaline junkies. You know, no more content about bungee jumping or hang gliding. If you really want to cheat death, you go hang out in a crowd when there's a highly infectious disease that has the potential to kill you going around.
Yeah, cue the laugh track. So that's just some lame attempt at comedy. So it's a pretty lame show. But what they're saying is that, you know, we're putting ourselves and others at risk by going to these events to cover them. But what's funny is just a few minutes prior, they were showing mainstream media reporters at these events and complaining how protesters are annoying them and stopping them from doing their work. So it's okay for their journalists, it's okay for their reporters, their puppets, whatever, to go to these events and cover them. But as soon as an independent journalist goes there, as soon as independent content creator goes there, that's a problem for them, because at that point, what they want to portray is being challenged by another view. So that's the biggest problem here, and this is why I think they're trying to discredit the work that people like myself and others do. But let's keep going.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, the reasons that they love the protest so much is it's a pretty simple reason. It's because it provides them with content. We also know, this is from wellness industry analysts, that you can build an entire business model on audiences that love conspiracies. Obviously, the bigger your audience, the more money you get, and that's why sometimes you see maybe like far-right influencers will put themselves like in the thick of it and then use that footage or use those pictures on their website right next to some merchandise.
I mean, it's so lame. There's so many things that they're saying there that's just ridiculous. Mainly the whole implication here that somehow if you're an independent journalist that kind of gets into these events and goes in there to cover them how they should be covered from a journalistic standpoint, that somehow you are a far right influencer. And then the second claim that they make is that, you know, it's a business model. It's about making money, or they're selling merchandise. They're showing Avi and the Rebel store and saying, oh, look, they're selling merchandise. And it's just nonsense. Because if you look at the, ABC's history, for such a long time, they had a retail store, online retail store, where they sold merchandise of all types, right? And they even had physical stores where they sold their dodgy merchandise, right? And today, even though they got rid of those retail stores because it wasn't working out for them, no one was buying their crap, today they still sell stuff through third parties. So the ABC still sells merchandise through third parties. And the other most ridiculous thing here is that these people at the ABC, these journalists, these presenters, and all this kind of stuff, regardless of what they don't have to sell anything, because you know what? They're taking your money. The taxpayers are funding these stupid shows, right? This one's called Question Everything. So these people are able to use your money without your choice to make up all these kind of stupid shows and not do the type of work that they should be doing. So, you know, think about it. What's the problem here with the independent news organization trying to fundraise through selling merchandise if people are choosing to spend money and purchase their products, whatever it is? Whereas at the same time, people have no choice whether their money gets spent on the ABC. Can you see how silly and stupid these people sound? And beyond all of that, organizations like the ABC and a lot of our other mainstream media organizations have really let us down over the last 19 months. They failed in their, critical job as the fourth estate to hold our leaders, to hold these health bureaucrats, to hold all these kind of people accountable by really putting them to the sword when they should be. They've more or less played along and encouraged a lot of the behavior of our politicians. And history can look back at this time period and judge them. They can judge me and other independent creators as well. And yeah, like this kind of thing, it's silly. I find it quite funny. It's just funny when the ABC attempts to do this. I know there's a lot of other people online that are kind of criticizing the work that independent journalists like myself do, because they're making up all sorts of reasons. But the main issue here is that a lot of these people and a lot of people that are criticizing what we're doing is they can't deal with alternative views. They can't deal with alternative coverage. They can't deal with alternative ideas. See, instead of debating and challenging us and challenging those ideas, they would rather censor you, they would rather ridicule you, and they would rather you do not exist, because it just challenges their worldview too much. So these people are weak, and they really are at the very end of their existence, these kind of organizations, right? Because if you have people like myself who are working out of our kitchens and creating content and going out there and covering these events that people want to see, sure, you can decide for yourself what the truth is, or what information you'll take from what I'm showing. But I'm just a dude working out of my kitchen doing this and challenging these larger organizations, and it's going to be happening more and more as technology changes, as access to information changes, as new technologies, new media develops. This old guard, these people, these hacks, right? They're struggling to stay relevant, and all they can do is ridicule and make up random claims where they just look stupid when you look under a microscope. So just remember, guys, it's okay if you want to support independent media, independent content creators. You're adults, you can make that decision for yourself. What potentially is not okay, though, is that your money, your hard-earned income, is taken from you to fund organizations like the ABC when they fail to be representative of the wider community and just have a left-wing, crazy, left-leaning agenda that's influenced by so many other, left-leaning puppets like the Democrats and all sorts of things from overseas. So that's my 2 cents today, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you all next time.